Hello again, I'm Madame Sensei. I teach Spanish, French, and Japanese to high schoolers out here in the beautiful Pacific Northwest. It's a bit rainy today though. And I've been describing how I'm adapting GLAD techniques for the secondary classrooms. GLAD is Guided Language Acquisition Development, and it's made for elementary schools, but I thought there was enough fun there that I could dabble around and try and adapt them for secondary classrooms. And today we're continuing discussing my experiments with expert groups, part 5, which is back-to-back drawing, which very quickly morphed into Battleship because my students got really good at this first. So generally in a back-to-back drawing, you have one student who can see something and they're describing it to the other student and then they're drawing it. And I started with that idea because I'm still wrestling with this idea of expert groups. And again, if I pull students out of one group into another group to work for a little while on an expert group, then I'm kind of neglecting all the other students who need scaffolding, and then there's a bit of a learning loss between what the expert group learns and how they teach it to their classmates, and their classmates aren't getting the repetition that they need. So I'm trying to re-envision what expert group means, and I began thinking about expert groups in terms of the communicative approach. Now, in the communicative approach, it's a pedagogy of teaching. See my pedagogy channel for a description of this. But this is the idea that in language there's negotiation, okay? And in negotiation, there's information gap and feedback. And whenever I'm making a game for the communicative approach, because I love to make games, I always think of this little rhyme: who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? Bob stole the cookie from the cookie jar. Who, me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? Who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? It's what we always played in kindergarten, right? So I think, who stole the cookie from the cookie jar? There's an information gap. And then you choose somebody in the class. Bob stole the cookie from the cookie jar. That's a choice that you make. Who, me? Yes, you. Couldn't be. Then who? That's feedback. So whenever I get stuck, I think of this, and this is my mnemonic for working through a game in the communicative approach. So basically, can we define an expert group as someone has information that we need? All right, so each person is going to be the expert on some set of information that they have to convey to the other half of the class. All right, so I have the students count off 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 at their table. So everybody has a partner, and all the number ones get one refrigerator, and all the number twos get another refrigerator. So you can see they're different. I just took a stock image and I just put some food in it, okay? And so they had to describe each other, what was missing, and use prepositions of obligation, okay? Du poulet, the chicken is on the top shelf of the refrigerator, or we might say, oh, you have to describe it, you can't say the chicken. You have to say, oh, the meat that comes from a bird is on the top shelf, in the middle. However they did it, okay? Because like I started off really easy, you could say chicken, and then they got really good at it very quickly. So then I said, okay, you can't tell them what it is this time. But frankly, that game didn't last very long because they were really good at it. I guess I prepared my students for once. Okay, so very quickly we moved to a Battleship format, and I grabbed 11 by 17 paper from the workroom, and I had each student draw a refrigerator on it, really giant, but after a while I had one student who was a really good artist, and I said, would you draw a big refrigerator for me? And I ran down before the next class, and I copied his refrigerator because it was really good. So I make a lot of cards because we play a lot of games in my class, and I had already made this deck of cards for Go Fish. And one thing I like about making a lot of cards is when something goes south, like I could see, oh, the students already have this down, they need to be challenged more. It's so easy to grab a deck of cards and say, we're playing a new game. And, maybe I plop down a board game, or maybe I say we're playing $20,000 Pyramid, or maybe I say, in this case, this is a deck I made for Go Fish, but I use it for all sorts of other stuff. But at any rate, I've got the deck of cards instantly there, and I can basically pull things out of my posterior when the lesson goes south, okay? So very quickly, I pulled out the Go Fish cards, and I said, okay, there's a match here, so separate out the cards. Each of you gets a whole deck, and secretly make your refrigerator, put things wherever you want, and then I had them put textbooks between them. I've got textbooks I never opened. You can see these are brand new, because who needs textbook when you got games, right? So they put the textbooks between each other so they couldn't see, and so it was basically Battleship. Okay, so then the other one has cards that they can sift through, and they can find the match and put it down. But frankly, that worked much better than me already generating the things. So here's a video, and yeah, this worked pretty well, and the students were pretty adept at using their language and their prepositions of location and the new food words that we were working on.
Tu un tomate dans la porte tu un frais dans la porte.
What do you think bacon's made out of? Turkey. Sausage. Sauce.
You raised on porte de figo à me. Okay. And okay, that's we already have that. Taking out my stuff. Wait.
Ne pas manger avec un fauché. Il y a beaucoup de nourriture, mais c'est très peu. Vous pouvez manger avec de œufs, de bœuf. Avec de bœuf, avec les œufs.
Haha, that was so funny. I apologize. I'm in my planning period and I'm all set up for my next class. We're going to be doing something really fun with Minecraft for Education. And I hadn't killed the program because I'm getting ready for the next class, and I hadn't realized that the music was still on, even though I can't hear it right now. It must be so quiet that I can't hear it right now. But when I recorded, you've got some lovely background music. But I'm not going to re-record the whole thing because I know that only 2 people are watching this, so it's fine. At any rate, join me next time for my experiments with Expert Group Part 6. See, we teachers are all about flexibility and rolling with the punches, right? Our next expert group is going to be $20,000 pyramid. I'll explain that in the next one. So again, if you want a written copy, check out studio-nemo.com. Check out the Duolingo Educators Network on Facebook. Talk to me about this. I want to tweak my methods. I want to get more ideas from you. So I'm always interested in learning more. See you next time.